Welcome back. We are back in the Old Testament book of Zechariah, and we are continuing in chapter 5. There's two sections to chapter 5, so if you've been following along, we're going to break down the entire book of chapter 5. I'm sorry, look, I have paint on my hand. The entire chapter. It's taken me a while to get through this, and I just, little side note, it is totally okay to stay in a certain chapter of the book when you're studying it for more than a day. That is completely normal, especially I feel like in the Old Testament, because they're like, these are visions that were given to Zechariah. So there is a lot of like symbolism, and one word can hold like a lot of meaning. And so it's okay to kind of sit in this and really try to study it and make sense of it. And while I don't believe that the Bible is hard to understand, I do believe that it takes time, and it takes, you have to be diligent in studying it and praying about it and just asking the Holy Spirit to guide you in your reading. So with that being said, we're going to try to break down chapter 5, the flying scroll. This is the sixth vision, okay? And this was God's plan to deal with wickedness. A glimpse of God's plan to do away with evil for good, okay? So the vision starts with a flying scroll, and it's not just any flying scroll, it's like a huge scroll. It says 20 cubits or by 10 cubits, which in today's times it's like 30 foot by 15 foot. So that's pretty big. And a cubit, the measurement would be like from the bend of your elbow to like your fingertips would be 1 cubit. Just a little information there. But for one thing I read, this is the same measurement of the portico area of Solomon's temple. And 20 cubits is also the length of the screen used as a gate in the wilderness tabernacle. So that was pretty neat how God, like, these measurements are not just like, spur of the moment. Like, God uses specific measurements. I just thought that was pretty neat. So the scroll represents a curse that will go out to the entire land of Judah, and it will pass over and through the community in which God has the covenant with. These are his covenant people that came from exile, that are rebuilding the temple, okay? So it's to those who vow to keep his commands. So this is going to be like a cleansing. And we can look back in Deuteronomy about the covenant made and how God warned his people of the consequences if you broke that covenant. So this curse was going over Judah to seek out the ones who were, number one, thieves. So they were stealing from others, which was a direct violation of God's covenant. And then it would go to the homes of those who swore falsely by God. So they were swearing by God and saying that, they were keeping his commands, doing this type of thing, but truly they weren't. And God is saying he's going to get rid of these people from the land, leaving their homes in complete ruins. Okay, so that was the flying scroll. Now we go into chapter 5, verses 5 through 11, which is the woman in the basket. This was the seventh vision, and this was quite something. So when we read these verses, we have a basket with a woman inside that is covered, and two other winged women carrying the basket away. Okay, when you read through those verses, that's kind of what you get. So the basket represents the sins of the people collected or gathered, right? Because a basket is used for gathering and collecting things. The woman inside represents wickedness of the land. And we see that the basket of sin and wickedness is covered, puts the top on it, and the stork-like women fly the basket away. So this is like they are removing the sin from the land and taking it to Babylonia. Okay? Babylonia was a country associated with evil. So it is removed from the land here. And one thing that really stuck out to me here when I read about, this is kind of off topic, what I read about the two women who were described as like stork-like, having wings like a stork. We oftentimes associate angels as having wings. But if you're studying the whole book of Zechariah here, and it's repeatedly talked about the angels of the Lord, not once does it describe that they have wings. And so I just felt that to be very, very interesting and very, I don't know, maybe something to look into. But anyway, but to wrap up this chapter, we continue to read how serious God is at removing sin, driving it out, carrying it away from Judah, away from his people. He doesn't want to dwell in a land overran with sin, and it continues to show our need for the Messiah. Pretty neat. Pretty neat. All right, make sure that you're subscribed, and I'm going to share more about chapter 6 next. If you're playing catch up, that's completely okay. I have all these chapters here on the channel, plus several other Old Testament books that we've studied that kind of tie into this. So, again, thank you. Don't forget to subscribe.